Mum's Sunday roast the highlight of the week.
Hours spent walking the dog with my dad in all weathers.
I think the first time that I remember my dad as part of the Light Up a Life event was 2020 after he died, and it felt like an opportunity to share a memory for myself and for other people who probably are looking for some kind of support, especially around Christmas time when you miss the people that you love the most. I think to my dad that I'm thinking I haven't forgotten you, and I think it's just that feeling of warmth that actually I'm taking a moment especially to remember my dad in that time.
Often what happens when somebody dies, people think it's the right thing is not to mention them, and for fear that they're going to be upset, going to get or make them feel any worse. Well, actually, the worst thing has actually happened, so they can't make them feel any worse. And actually, what people don't realise is actually talking about the person that's died, their loved one, is vitally important to the grieving process. And even if they do get upset, that's fine. But the importance is that we allow the person to have those conversations and have those happy memories about the person, processing the pain of the loss, but also bringing in the memories to help them live alongside each other. So they'll be happy and sad living alongside as the person goes forward.
Picking a film at the video store.
Playing board games by the fire in the front room.
Me and my dad sledging. Every year, my dad used to build me a new sledge at work, and we'd go and try it out where he lived on the field, on a big hill actually. Every year there'd be dogs running around and kids, and we'd sledge until usually we broke it, and then that would be the end of the sledging day. And then he would build a new and improved sledge, and he tried to make it faster and more colourful, which we would break as well. Once you've lost somebody, it is really important to hold on to those really precious memories. For me, there was also memories of my dad being really ill, and how difficult that was. But the memories that I want to keep and that I want to keep remembering are those really happy times. I've shared them with my brother, who's a lot younger than I am, and he has exactly the same memories. My dad did exactly the same with him 15 and 16 years later. So we've got that, the both of us have those really precious memories of those times with our dad. So to see other people's memories, for me, it's comforting. It's comforting to know that you're not alone. So it offered that opportunity for me to think I can get involved, I can support Treetops, but I can also support myself, my family. There's a real sense of community.
The life of the party at our wedding.
When I see Nana's African violets, I know her spirit is alive.
So people have different ways of reminiscing, and quite a lot of people will have music on in their background, their favourite song or from their favourite era, their wedding songs. There's like a particular room fragrance or scent that they used to like a perfume that they used to have. Teddy bears that people have on their beds that some of them are from when they were a child, some of them are from their grandchildren. When we go into our patients, they've often had quite a lot of intervention from clinical staff, district nurses, equipment deliveries, and it feels very busy. By being there overnight, it allows them to have time to relax and reflect because the pressure's taken off the care side for them, which means we take over that little bit, which they can then be a family and talk about their experiences, their memories. But it's really nice to just for a split second, if they can just remember the person that they were rather than the person that's lying in the bed. And that's what makes a good death, is if you can get a family to talk openly with a smile on their face, then you know that something's gone right throughout the process for them.
Snuggling under Grandma's get-well blanket. All those bourbon biscuits you saved up for me.
Grief is as unique as your fingerprint, so everybody's going to grieve differently, and that will be different to the relationship they had with that person. So it's all about what have they lost when that person died. So it's not just the person, but it's the roles that person was in their life. So part of sort of like looking at what they've lost is also looking at what they had as well. And for each person, that we do that uniquely. So depending on their age, depending on who the person was to them. What we provide at Treetops is bereavement counselling, and that's for adults and children from the age of 7 upwards. And grief is actually a normal process. So whenever anybody dies, there's going to be a normal process of feeling grief and hurt and sadness. And often people move through that within a period of time. It's when people have been through that period of time and actually they're still not feeling okay, they might need that little bit of extra support to move through it. Or there might have been more complications around the death, or there could have been some trauma involved in it. So that's the time when they actually then need that professional help to help them move through that grief. They need to be able to come somewhere to process it and have those difficult conversations. Family events, whether it's a birthday, anniversary or a graduation or a wedding, when there's been a bereavement in the family, are always challenging situations because they're classed as happy situations, but then there's a hint of sadness there because there's somebody missing. So what we try and do is encourage, as part of the continuing bonds, is how can we then find ways of incorporating that person that's died into that event. You've brought them forward from the past into the present.
The smell of his aftershave.
Sneaking chocolates to the grandchildren when I wasn't looking.
I always think about him when I'm walking the dog in all weathers and, you know, in the dark mornings and pouring rain and everything. So yeah, I think there's that connection as well, that I spent a lot of time trudging through mud with the dog with my dad when I was a kid as well. It helps me smile when I remember him rather than feel sad that he's not here.